it is a quiet, gray day here today. Just chilly. Then again, it's chilly all across the country, it seems. So I'm trying to drag out some cards here and see if we have a subject to talk about. I haven't been doing readings because I have no, subjects to read on. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, but right now everything is quiet with it, the holiday season. And since I have no TV, I have no way to stay up on the news, what's going on. So I don't even have a subject to read on. So that's why it's so quiet here. Okay. So let's see if I can scare up something to talk about today. I tried to get a hold of the manager here, but she's not answering her phone. Okay. Looks like it's pretty cold everywhere. I even looked at Tucson, and Tucson is even colder than here, which I'm really surprised at. How can that be? How can Tucson be colder than here? Then I looked at Santa Fe, and they're getting snow. They're going to get snow, so yeah. Okay, well, what we have here today, yes, oh Lord, nurture, romance, nurture, romance, okay, and the Seven of Cups, so many things to choose from, okay, if you're nurturing a romance, okay. So again, if you are in a dedicated relationship, and things have kind of, fallen a little dull, it might be time to nurture the romantic side of things, okay? To keep things from getting stale and, we have so many pressures and things, and I think that nowadays people are working so hard that they really don't take time out to nurture the romance. I think that, married couples or dedicated couples need to take time out, that to continue to have some sort of romance in their life, or else things can get, when things are you're not paying attention as much to your partner, to your other. Sometimes they imagine things happening that are not happening, okay? And things begin to go southward. So I think that really it's important for, men and women to respect each other and to spend some time together, not just, in the daily duties and the grind of, go back to when you were dating, okay? When you were dating, you wanted to impress each other. You get married and that all goes out the door. Don't need to impress them anymore. If you're a woman that says, screw it, I don't have time for makeup or to dress up anymore, I just want to be comfortable, maybe take the time to dress up Okay? If you're a guy, think about taking your lady out, treating her like a lady. Okay? Okay. And now I think I'm going to talk a little bit about also abusive things. Nobody should be in an abusive relationship. Now, I just had a comment, somebody from India, that, is it my karmic thing because I'm being abused? And this is such a tragedy in India that, and part of the problem is, and it's getting worse all the time, so many rapes are going on there now. They have raised boys to be little princes, little gods, and the women they raise as if they're just chattel. They're something owned, and you're here, you're not respected because you're going to belong to somebody else's family. So they don't raise them with respect, and they don't raise the boys to respect the women. And so now we have the breakdown of society. It is so bad there now. They're having just unending rapes, and they call it Eve teasing. It's not teasing, okay? It's not teasing. These are overt sexual acts towards women, and it comes out of disrespecting women, okay? So people that have this glorified ideal of India, I've had women say, oh, they put women on pedestals there. Look at the goddesses. No, they don't. If you actually lived there and saw the way the women are abused in that culture, you would never say something like that. Okay? So again, it comes out of this breakdown of society where women are not treasured for what they bring. Okay? A woman is blamed for everything in India. If they don't bring enough dowry, they have a magic kitchen fire. She goes up in flames. This is common. It's still common in India. Okay? You have to pay for a husband. Okay? Women get educated, and then what happens? They're not allowed to use their education. Okay, they get married. It's usually not from a love match. Usually it's an arranged marriage where a lot of women have really not too much say on who they get married off to. And then they're expected to take care of the husband, his family, his mother, his father. She's expected to have sons. If she doesn't have sons, she has a daughter, they blame the woman. Okay? It's never the man's fault. Never the man's fault. No matter what happens, it's the woman's fault. Okay? Or so they want to project. So again, if you're a woman living in India, no, please don't think it's your karmic, that you've done something horrendous and so you're being punished by being beaten by some drunken lout that you have the unfortunateness to be married to, okay? And there are no easy answers for women there, because for them to leave this situation, it's not easy. Okay? They don't have a support system to leave these situations. They need to start something in India for women that are being abused, But they don't give the women the education. So that if they're in this type of situation, they can leave. It's a very difficult situation. There are no easy answers. I wish I could tell them, leave the guy. But what are their options? Okay, the family disowns them. Once they're married, a lot of times their family will disown them. if they want to marry out of love somebody from a different caste, many times the family will kill them. Okay? These things are still going on. They still believe in sati in some of the villages. And for people that don't know what sati is, it's when your husband dies, if you're a pious wife, you're supposed to run and jump on the funeral fire and burn up with him. Jump on there and burn up alive to prove that you're a faithful wife. Okay? And many times, women, unfortunately, that become widows, they're seen as pariahs. Even young girls, if they are married off to an old man and the man dies, she's a widow. Nobody will touch her. They will have nothing to do with her. They're thrown out in the streets and sometimes into prostitution. Yes, these things are going on in India. Okay, you've outlived your usefulness to the family. They'll throw you out in the street. Okay? This is the hard life that's still going on in India, and people want to look to India as some bright light. Shining light. Okay? Now, like I've said, the golden age of India was way, way, way long ago. It's definitely not now. Okay? So people that think I have something against Hinduism, I don't. You know, I teach a lot of the practices I give are based out of Hindu. Okay? Very strong practices. That does not mean that the culture of India has followed that. They haven't. The culture of India and some of the practices are entirely separate. Okay? Two different things. So, again, please don't be down on yourself thinking that it's something you have done bad or wrong and that you are deserving of this life. Okay? You know, they will, in India, you'll see these people throwing all the plastic bags away. You'll see cows ingesting them. You'll see them laying there, suffering, dying. And they're not allowed to put the cow out of its misery. Oh, well, it's its karma. Okay? Let it lay there and suffer and die. Okay? So many of these types of things are still going on. Okay, there's a lot of work that needs to be done in every culture. Now, I'm not just down on India, and every culture has stuff. I mean, look at the culture here. Things are going on here that are also horrendous. Again, men are not respecting women, and many women are not respecting men. Once you start to lose the respect and common courtesies, we don't even see common courtesies anymore. Okay? And when you have that breakdown of society where you're not even having common courtesy, let alone, honoring and treasuring your partner, then you have a big breakdown in society. It's also happening here. Okay, breakdowns in society. So that's what I say today. Bring the romance back. If you have a partner, honor them, appreciate them. Take maybe twice a month, every couple weeks. Spend a date night. Okay, have a candlelight dinner together. Do something together. Okay? Rather than one over there swilling beer and watching his, football, and the other one hid out in the other room somewhere. Okay? Do something together. Continue to appreciate your partner. Okay? because Lord knows we don't need any more breakdown in society than we have now. You know, again, money is not the answer to everything. Okay. I think I'll close this out. There's another subject I want to maybe talk about today too. And that's this horrendous thing we have going now where people are having to work 2 and 3 jobs to survive. Okay? Things have really start on a downward cycle. Okay? So I'm going to leave this here. So again, today's word is romance. Romance. Okay? Romance. Nurture. Things need to be nurtured. It's like a garden. If you have a garden and you don't pull the weeds, it's going to grow up and choke your garden out. If you want to have a beautiful garden, you need to manage the weeds. You need to take care of it. You need to fertilize it. Okay? You need to do what you need to do to have it grow. Again, lots of options, lots of things. You know, it can either go towards a good way or a negative way, in suspicion and paranoia and drama. Or you can build on it and just see lots of different options. Which way are you going to go? Okay. Are you going to nurture it, or is it going to become poison? Okay. Up to you. Up to you. But if you're in a relationship and you're not respecting each other, okay, or one's working really hard and the other is not working at it at all, forget it. You can't, you cannot force somebody to respect or to give back or to be appreciative. If you're with somebody and, forget it, a leopard does not change its spots. People think, oh, I'll be able to change him. I'll be able to, no. Okay? So I get so tired of seeing so many women wind up missing. Okay? Or women that, what was it, just lately there was a woman that killed her 2 children. Okay? They think there's no way out, and they have very bad mental health, and so much more of this stuff is happening in society. Okay? We need to see the writing on the wall and adjust the situation. Okay? Don't stay in a horrible relationship, and I use the term loosely because it's not a relationship if you are being abused mentally, physically, and don't say, well, it's not physical abuse, it's just mental. He didn't mean it. Well, yeah, if they show you who they are, that's who they are. Okay? Again, nobody should put up with abuse. And again, some men are abused by women. They shouldn't put up with it either. If you are in that type of a relationship, then, count your losses and leave. Okay? Now, people know I was married before and I left, and it was an abusive relationship. I saw the writing on the wall. I got all kind of flack from my parents because I left. My mom was like, you need to stay in a relationship. And well, I'm not going to be thrown up against a wall. I'm not going to have my child abused. There's no way on God's green earth that I would let that happen. Okay? I packed up what I had and I left. Bottom line, gone. The first time it happens, it should never happen even a first time. But the first time, if they do it once, they'll do it again. Okay? So again, it's up to you what type of life you want to live. But again, if they're not going to respect you, think about leaving. Okay? Leaving. It's not worth it. Nothing is worth being in an abusive relationship. It's not good for the children. It's not good for either of the people. And, you know, like I said, people are getting more radical. More and more people are getting killed. And that nobody needs to live that type of life and wind up dead because of an abusive relationship. Just because they want to prove that they can stick it out. You don't stick out something like that. Okay? And to the women in India, I don't know what to tell you. If there were places to go there where they had aid for women, I would say leave in a heartbeat, but I know how it is there. It's not as easy to leave there. And even here, if you are with somebody that's really physically abusive, you know, you may have to leave everything behind. Just take what little you have. Don't worry about a divorce, this and that, getting what's yours. Leave. Go to the other side of the U.S. Get the heck out of the city. Don't stay close by where this fool can find you. Okay? You can start again. You can start again. Okay? So again, I'm going to leave this here. You know, I hate to go from romance, but you know, we have the other side of the coin. And I'm not going to be unrealistic and say that doesn't happen. All you need to do is spice it up, and well, that's not always the case. Okay? So again, if it's a relationship and it's just started to get a little stale and stuff, then start taking remedial steps before it turns tragic and goes right down the tubes. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. And everybody stay warm, okay? Oh, mercy. Thanks for tuning in. Aho.